Hey there, this is K4A, Knowledge for All educational videos and tutorials. Today I will try to show you how and when you can use scratch block, which is named replace item of list with other item. So we have one item on some kind of position in some list, in our case inventory. So it can be on first position, second, third, and so on, and we want to replace it with another item. Let's see that in practice. First of all, I have to apologize because I have made a mistake in a previous video when I said that this scratch block is that you have to be aware that what kind of letters do you type, big or small, capital or not. So this, I said this scratch block was case sensitive. That means it will depend if you type the thing with small t or big, it's different, and that scratch won't recognize the thing with big T as same as with small t. That was wrong. So for example, in our case, if I type thing, we don't have that in our list, we have only apples. But if I type apple with all small letters, that will be true, and same as if I type a big capital or a p small p big and so on. So I can, yeah, it's also true. So I can switch from small to big capital letters and so on. So in short, this scratch block is not case sensitive, and that's what I read at Scratch Wiki info. So I think I left the link for it. So again, sorry, and it's good to check this wiki. And also the good thing is that you can check it fast, and as we did here now with the scratch blocks, right in the scratch to see that in action. So don't try to assume anything which I did and make the error. That way, again, it doesn't matter how Game Maker or Unity or Unreal works, or how there it is important to not mix small and big letters, capital letters, and it's case sensitive. This scratch block is not, and again, that doesn't mean some other scratch block will not be case sensitive. So again, you have to learn what you use, and good thing again is that you can try that and test that fast. Okay, let's go to variables, scratch list blocks, and find the one which we are explaining today. Replace the item at some place with some other place. Okay, so if I, for example, click replace the item 1, that means the first one, the one on the first place of inventory with thing, check how this apple will switch to thing. Okay, if I try with 4, nothing happens because we don't have 4 elements. And now when I collect apple, now it will work. So you need to have some item at the place where you are pointing to replace it with other. If you don't have it, nothing will happen. Or if you try to replace something which is out of the limit of your, and so on. So when can you use that, and how can you use this? We will see that in example now. And again, possibilities are endless. Sometimes you will need to repeat some kind of, for example, repeat 10 times replace the item of inventory, and then change this number with some kind of variable which will be added on to +1, +1, +1, and so on. So I can repeat 4 times, I think, for example, because I have 4 items in my list and I want to replace the first one with the thing, then change my variable to +1, and I have to set my variable to 1. So I start with number 1 because I want to replace first item of inventory with some other. Then when you do that, change that counter, my variable is counter, to +1 and so on, and repeat that 4 times. So when I click on this set of blocks, this code, whole of this list will be changed into things, I think. So let's test that. Yes. So we have made some kind of simple but fast example how to change all the members, the items of some list, into something else. So you can, for example, change that, I don't know, if you have some kind of list of quests in one level and that level is finished, you want to change them to quest number 2, quest level 2, something like that. Or maybe zombies into vampires. We have zombies on first level, then in a list of those enemies, then change them on level 2 into something else, and so on. And again, I'm using some kind of simple examples, numbers, and so on, so you can just get a grip of it, what can you do with it. But if you want to make it more professional and more usable, you can also combine other scratch blocks, and instead of using number 4, because we have 4 items in our inventory, you can use this length of inventory, and then you don't have to check if the item list is 4 or 5 or anything like that, because this block will always give you the length of inventory and so on. So that was one example. I will give another, maybe also fast in our game. Let me just check the game again. We collect the apples and oranges, and when we click on the player girl, she wants to trade the oranges, and she says, okay, I will give you 10 coins, but we see that our inventory list just deletes the oranges. It doesn't add coins. The girl said here are 10 coins, or instead of coins we can say here is the sword. Here is the sword instead of coins. Here is I will change 10 coins into mighty sword. Okay. So now instead of coins, girl is giving us the sword, but the sword will not show up in our inventory, and our game designer says, okay, fix that. I want, when the girl says, okay, here is the mighty sword, you gave me oranges, then delete oranges from list and put some sword information in it, put sword word in it. So we want to do what? We want to replace oranges with sword when this girl trades sword for oranges, and that's when we are going to use this replace. That's when this, for example, this block comes in handy, and you can do that fast. So when do I want to do it? I want to do it here. If the inventory contains the orange and the cat says yes, I want to trade, then wait for 1 second, delete orange and replace. But we have another problem here now. Again, you just have to use your brains, your mind, to think about it, what you have as a problem and how to solve it. I have some block which says replace item 1 of inventory with thing. First of all, I want to say, okay, I don't want to replace the oranges with thing. I want to type sword. That's cool. Or mighty sword. Mighty sword. Okay, but the other bigger problem is that I don't have oranges here. I have some kind of number, and that is the position of item in my list. In my case, oranges are on 3rd position, number 3, but that is only in this game. That is because the cat collected 2 apples and then orange. Sometimes it will collect first the orange, so the orange will be number 1. Sometimes it will be on 2nd position, and so on. So we cannot say the 1st position is true. We need the position of item orange, and we have learned that previously. So we need to find item position of orange in inventory is what? 3. So this is what we need, and this will change from time to time because again, player will collect this item sometimes as 1st, sometimes as 2nd, and so on. So this will solve our problem. We don't have to think now and see and check out on our own. It will be checked by Scratch, and we have now something to put in here. So what does this sentence say now? Replace the item. Which item? Item which is on position of orange in inventory. Okay, of inventory with mighty sword. Great, that's what I want to do. And I don't need this one. I don't need to delete because I'm now replacing it. Okay, and then say thank you, here is the mighty sword, and bring that back where? When the answer is true, when the inventory contains orange. Okay, so now it should work. And now when I click on this girl to talk to her and say yes, I want to trade my orange, which is item on 3rd position in my list, will be replaced with mighty sword. Let's check that out. Do you have any oranges to trade? Yes. And check out now number 3. Orange will be turned into mighty sword. I think so. I hope so. Mighty sword. Yeah. Thank you. Here is mighty sword. So this works. This is what we needed. This is exactly what we needed. Great. I will stop here. 15 minutes. Great. And again, very important thing, all of those items in list, those are words only. As you saw now, we just said, okay, put the word mighty sword in it. There is no sprite for it. There is no item. There is no code. You would have to do that somehow later on your own. I will maybe show that in some new tutorial on how to make complete inventory and so on. But think about these items as words or if you type number as numbers. They are just pieces of information, and then you can use this information to do whatever you want. So when I check this information, apple, I can tell the Scratch, okay, if the first item is apple, then destroy the character, spawn the zombies, jump, shoot, whatever I want. It doesn't have to make sense in terms of what does it says in words. So try to think about it if you don't understand it yet. These are only words which you can later connect to something else. Or to give more concrete example, let's go back to Fortnite and the inventory of Fortnite. So all of those icons here, which you can select by pressing the buttons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they are graphical representation, graphic user interface, GUI, UI in short, of something like this, which is made behind under the hood, behind the visible, so you don't see this list on the screen of Fortnite, but that list is used to generate all of those icons and all of those guns and pickaxe or whatever your character uses on the screen. So again, this list is hidden in Fortnite, but Fortnite uses that list inventory to create icons. So it uses some kind of code which says, okay, if the first item is apple, then draw apple icon on first place, draw second place apple, third mighty sword, fourth bananas, or here it's rifle. So you have to make code for that to do that, and another piece of code which will say, okay, that was only drawing the user interface. When the player selects the number 4, then show that banana on the screen in the hand of the cat as a weapon, or mighty sword, or apple, and so on. So that is another step, another code, but I just want to be sure that you understand that these informations are only that, pieces of information, words, numbers, and something like that, which you can later use by adding code like this to create stuff on the screen as user interface or other features, objects, sprites, and so on. So we haven't used that yet in those terms, but again, it would take a little bit more time, a little bit more effort. I will maybe make a new video, new tutorial, like make inventory in Scratch or something like that, and then go step by step slowly. These tutorials so far are just to show you how you can use these blocks in different ways, some specific, some very simple, but the whole idea is to push you to use them in your own way for developing your own games, ideas, and so on. That's it for this video. I think we have another one only block for lists left, and after that I think 4 or 6 other Scratch blocks, and we have finished explaining all of those Scratch blocks, almost there. So see you in next video, and thanks for watching.